So, man, I just gotta tell it like it is. Not like how I see it, not, my opinion on the matter, what I think is this, and the third. I'ma tell it how it is. And how can you tell something? How can you say I'ma tell it how it is? How can you just say this is how it is versus this is my opinion? Well, the way you do that is you simply look at the facts of a situation, bar none, without your interpretation, without your input, right? That's how you get to how it is, right? So, and what am I talking about, right? So, Hebrews are losers, right? So, if I'm saying, as a person, your accomplishments in life are loser accomplishments, that's a personal statement. That's a judgment call on the person, his choices, the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? That's not really fair. Can't really say that with a straight face and be good. You know what I'm saying? But what I can say is, in history, Hebrews are losers. And what do I mean by that, right? So, the Bible, to me, you have some parts of the Bible that deal with a little bit of history, no doubt. I'm not going to take all of it away. Some parts of the Bible talk history, right? But it's confused history. All the scholars can say, yeah, there was Babylonian captivity. Yeah, Persia came through and wrecked ship. And this is what happened in history. But the Bible reports something different, so on and so forth, right? So these are things we can say happen. So we'll get into what can't happen. Watch my videos, so on and so forth. What do I mean when Hebrews are losers? They are nothing but a bunch of little people who throughout history have done nothing but been conquered by other people. That's it. Even their own history is a history of the little guy coming up. That's what it is. It's not the history of some people that understand science, that understand philosophy, that understand reality, that understand the world that we live in, and have come up with an ideology that allows them to become masters of their space and sphere. No, it's not that. What is it? I'm a little bitty, oppressed, so on and so forth. I need the help of a big mythological god in order to get me out of my situation. This is who the Hebrews are, no, bar none, point blank. You know what I'm saying? And the last time we encounter the Hebrews, before we encounter Christianity, they're being ran by Rome and Greece. You know what I'm saying? And now they come up with this apocalyptic literature, this apocalyptic worldview. Why? What does that mean? This apocalyptic worldview. Well, what it was, the Jews in their philosophy, they're talking, oh, my God is going to give me power and dominion over this, and the third. My God is going to do this, and the third, right? Over and over, generations of Jews, listening to this rhetoric that their God is going to come through and destroy the world and give them dominion over, the people, over the world. They're going to be rulers, right? This is what their doctrine is teaching them. However, the reality of the situation is what? They're nothing but a bunch of punks and peons that nations, real people who deal with real science, conquer, control, and maneuver the way they want to maneuver them. So, this is what I mean. They're losers. They hold on to this loser identity, loser philosophy, and then keep moving throughout life. And then you don't have any historical precedents for anything. You gave the world nothing. If anything, Rome used your stuff to conquer the world through force and might, no doubt. You gotta give them that, because that's what happened. But other than that, what? Any high science coming from the Hebrew philosophy? You gotta look through the esoteric philosophy. And when we get into the esoterics of Hebrewism, what do we get into? We get into Babylonian and Egyptian philosophy. Because why? Because they took it Did they take it intentionally? No, it was a syncretism. It was a borrowing. Why was it a borrowing? Because other more dominant cultures dominated them, and them being the little peon, desert dwelling, goat herding people without high philosophy, took some of the elements and made it their own. That's basically what it was. It's nothing, serious about it. There's no real big thought. That's exactly what happened. And when we look throughout their actual history without the mythology behind it, when we look at Jews in history, that's what they do. What do? They become like the people who conquer them. They become like Jews. They become like they're not Jews. They become like Greeks. They become like the Romans. They become like the dominant ruling class. Who was Josephus? Josephus was a dude who was trying to be like the Romans, who wrote for them. And then what? And then who? Let's even look at the Gospels. The Gospels are written in what language? Greek. They can't even write their own freaking philosophy in their own language. The Septuagint, the oldest version of the Bible we have, what is it written in? Greek. And there is evidence that the Hebrew language is a Greek invention. There's a lot of linguistic connections that happen between Greek and Hebrew, and even is Arabic. So we can't. And then what's the deal? Right? The whole story is this. And then, oh man, the oldest documents that we have from the Jews, the oldest document is not the Septuagint, the oldest Bible. The oldest Hebrew Jewish documents come from the Elephantine Jews who was in Elephantine, Egypt, which was a small island in the southern part of Egypt that was taken over during the Assyrian Empire, where we have Jews living at their own temple. That is this, I'm gonna harp on this over and over because it's key, because they had their own temple inside of that island, right? And are they writing in Hebrew? No, they are not writing in Hebrew. What are they writing in? They're writing in Aramaic, which people are like, oh, that's Proto-Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew Israelite script. No, it's not. It's Aramaic. It belongs to the Armenians. Leave it alone. Boom. The Proto-Sinaitic script is Paleo-Hebrew. No, it's not. It's a Sinaitic script that was developed from the Kemetic script of Hieratic. Why? Because Egypt ruled Canaan. And Egypt brought writing to the desert-dwelling goat herders. They copied it and made up their own language from it. And now they're calling it Proto-Sinaitic. But we don't even have any Jewish philosophy, theology written in the Proto-Sinaitic. Now we do have a few things. I'll give them the coins, the Yahoo and Asherah. These are the things that are written, right? So go back and study the archaeology. You'll see things are written, but it's not in Hebrew. It is not this Yahweh only. Man, please understand that. Please understand that this Yahweh cult was a specific group of Israelites within Israel or within Canaan that clearly gained prominence and power in the Greek world, because I believe it was these Yahwehists who compiled and composed the Bible, taking into account the documentary hypothesis that gave the world this crazy philosophy that we have now. Now we got people of African descent saying that they are these loser Jews, and then making up all of these false mythologies to identify them as these people, like something is really proud about that. These are people that don't accomplish anything. They don't give you any sciences, no high civilizing science. All they have is a history of, I don't want to curse, a history of mistakes. They had a kingdom, Solomon's temple, Solomon, the great Solomon. This cat can't even keep a kingdom together for more than 40 years. The kingdom of Israel, the big issue, this is supposed to be the big deal. It's 80 years old. It only lasted from David to Solomon 80 years. And then it fell. What? Y'all can't even keep your own stuff together. You get conquered. Get out of here. You all split. You fight. The northern kingdom versus the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom is Israel. The southern kingdom is Judah. Get out of here with this stuff, man. This is a crazy little history, little loser history. These people can't even keep it together. And you're going to talk about this is the truth of the world? This is ridiculous. You don't understand what I'm saying? We study Kemetic African spiritual-based sciences. Why? Because it gives us access to the universe. It gives us access to the powers and to the understanding how the universe operates. Why? So we can improve human society. This is African spirituality, culture, and tradition. You understand what I'm saying? Like, through African spirituality and culture, you learn the use of herbal medicines to heal. Do you do that in the Bible? No. What do you get in the Bible? You get a phrase. Use fruits and vegetables to heal yourself. Do you get formula? No, you don't. You don't get formula. Why? Because these are mythological people. Their joint is made up and it's given to them. Man, get off of this loser Hebrew ideology stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Embrace your African nature and come back home to the motherland.